2025 Hungarian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen also drives the ninth, a century behind the leader of the championship. In Formula One language, there is no gap. That's a collapse. But after a couple of races, all is different. Wins start stacking. Strategies flip. Pressure builds. When the season enters its final stretch, it is not a 100-point difference anymore. It's 12. How then is this continuing to occur? So, what is it that one driver does to transform impossible situations to winning positions? That. You will have to look outside results. And what actually is different about Max Verstappen? The comeback that shouldn't happen. In Formula One, a 100-point gap is meant to put a title struggle to an end. It is the type of gap that compels drivers to enter into the mode of damage limitation, minimize losses, secure podiums, consider the following season. But that is not how Verstappen works. He does the contrary. Instead of playing on the safe side, he applies pressure, wins races, pressures competitors into errors, and above all, he has the story of the championship. Momentum is real in Formula One. The pressure changes once a driver begins to win on a regular basis. The leader begins to think of losing, and the chaser of losing only thinks of gaining. It is that psychological change that Max flourishes in. The gap decreases to double digits, and at that point, it is not about points. It's about control. And somehow, Verstappen manages to have a way to get it. Constructed before his birth, Max Verstappen's story doesn't start with him. It comes in front of him. His father, Jos Verstappen, was a Formula One driver already. He had a world champion karting champion mother, Sophie Kumpen. This isn't just influence, it's the foundation. Since the outset, Max was not learning to race as a hobby. He was growing out of it, understanding it instinctively. Racecraft is built up over time by other drivers. The way Max came was to have it already installed. Yet it is not the genes that make champions. There was something, however, in the way of talent, pressure, not encouragement, expectation. His dad had not informed him that he would be a successor. He opposed him at all times, pushed him, tested him, and that was all. Inborn talent and constant stress made something unusual, more than merely a speedy motorist, but a driver to be made in case of emergencies. The first signs of something different. Prior to Formula One, there were already indications. It is evident in a popular karting battle between Verstappen and Esteban Ocon, two teenagers, one corner, a split-second decision. Most drivers would stick to a single line, but Max is able to adapt immediately, changes trajectory, accurately maneuvers the overtake of his age. That wasn't aggression, that was intelligence. He thought like a Formula One driver at the tender age of 16, and a year later, he did. Verstappen became the youngest driver in Formula One and made his debut at the age of 17. This wasn't luck, it was planned. Properly designed contracts, backup plans, positioning. His career was being run like a multi-year-long championship even before his first race. Nothing is by chance with Verstappen. Everything is calculated, winning immediately. Most drivers take years to win in Formula One. Verstappen took one race. After being promoted to Red Bull Racing in 2016, he won on his debut with the team. That doesn't happen. New car, new environment, new pressure, and yet he delivered instantly. But early success came with flaws. He was aggressive, sometimes too aggressive. Crashes, mistakes, incidents that made people question whether his style would hold him back. And this is where most drivers plateau, because raw speed is easy to notice. Control is not. But Verstappen adapted. He didn't lose the aggression. He refined it, turned chaos into calculation. And once that happened, his driving style stopped being a weakness and became his biggest weapon. The car built around him. At Red Bull, something unusual happened. They didn't just build a fast car. They built a car for Verstappen. His biggest strength is how much he can extract from the front end of the car. Extreme responsiveness, sharp rotation, minimal hesitation. For most drivers, that setup feels unstable, too aggressive, too risky. But for Max, it's perfect. It allows him to make tiny corrections mid-corner, adjust the car with precision, stay closer to the ideal racing line than anyone else. The trade-off? Almost zero margin for error. One small mistake, and the car punishes you instantly. That's why teammates struggle. Because this isn't just a fast car, it's a very specific one. And Verstappen doesn't just drive it. He maximizes it in a way others simply can't replicate. Precision at the limit. What separates Verstappen isn't just speed, it's repeatable. Anyone can produce one fast lap. Very few can produce 20 identical ones under pressure. Max operates at that level, especially on street circuits, where barriers are inches away and mistakes are unforgiving. Tracks like Monaco demand absolute precision, and yet Verstappen delivers laps that look almost effortless. That's not confidence, that's control. His background in sim racing plays a huge role here. Hours of refining muscle memory, practicing reactions, perfecting inputs. In a simulator, there's no room for hesitation, and that translates directly into real-world performance. Because when the car becomes unpredictable, Verstappen doesn't panic, he corrects instantly, and that ability turns into potential mistakes, into advantages. Race the rulebook. A majority of the drivers race against other drivers. Verstappen drives the system. He knows the rules in a way that he can manipulate them without going overboard. Late braking, forcing rivals wide, parking the car in such a way that it does not overstep the law. It can be reckless to fans, but it isn't. It's calculated. Each step is not in vain. In most of the instances, even when contact occurs, the consequence favors him. Scores remain unchanged. Rivals lose momentum. In any case, he benefits. Even the rule has been changed due to his style. That is the impact it has had. Because Verstappen doesn't just adapt to Formula One. Formula One is adapted to him. And it is then, you're not just watching a driver. You are witnessing someone transforming the game. The psychic that alters all one. Last work explains it all. Verstappen doesn't think like most drivers. He does not press in the same manner. He doesn't overreact to setbacks. And best of all, he has no fear of consequences. When others become frustrated, make emotional errors, or lose confidence, Max remains neutral, focused, unaffected. It is this state of mind that enables him to come out of situations that would bring down other drivers, since it is the biggest enemy when you are 100 points behind. And Verstappen simply doesn't panic. He executes, race by race, lap by lap, decision by decision, and gradually the impossible begins to seem like it. That's the difference. Not just talent, not just strategy, but mindset, staying locked in, however bad the situation is. Max Verstappen isn't just winning because he's fast. He is winning, as he knows Formula One at all levels. Technical, strategic, and psychological. Everything is in harmony, in his upbringing and in his driving style, in his precision and in his mindset. And that is why it does not seem that comebacks like 2025 are miracles. They feel expected, since when Verstappen is in the contest, it is never over till the end. It was not about him being able to overcome some failures. He's already proven that. The question is, beating someone who does not simply play the game, but knows it more than all the rest on the grid?